All right. Good evening, everyone. We'll call the Tuesday, December 10th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting to order at 5:52 PM. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Fletcher.
Here.
Councilwoman Bailey. Here. Councilman Shelley.
Here.
Councilman Rawl.
Here.
Vice Mayor Fairclough Staggers. Here. Mayor Losner.
Here. Are there any additions, deletions, or deferrals? None? Okay. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the October 15th, 2019 Committee of the Whole minutes. We have a motion by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councilwoman Bailey. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Next item, tab 2. Motion to place car number 2824 on the council agenda. Consolidated annual performance and evaluation public hearing. Do we have a presentation? Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, staff recommends that the mayor and council authorize the city manager to submit the fiscal year 2018-2019 consolidated annual performance report to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. The city receives a community development block grant allocation each year from HUD, and at the end of each grant cycle, the city is required to prepare the consolidated annual performance and evaluation report and make it available to the community for public comment. And our consultant, Calvin Knowles, is here if there are any questions or comments.
Are there any questions, initial questions from council? I had one question, and that was on page 13 of the exhibit, where there is a chart that talks about the goals from 2013 to, that's 2017, I think. Goal of 120 single-family units being rehabbed versus an actual result of only 13. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And,
Well, that 5-year plan was done in 2013, and between when that plan was done in 2013 and when it was completed in 2017, the city's priorities were altered to fund projects besides housing. So namely, the Cybrarium had a lot to do with that shift in funding.
okay. Further questions? And then on page 15, there's a statement here that I just want to be sure it's accurate, and I hope we can change this in the next couple of years. There's one of the bullet points as to the most urgent unmet needs. Refers or states that a large low-income population that places demands on social services, and then in parentheses, a statement that the majority of the entire city is low to moderate income. Does that remain true today?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Over 50% of the city of Homestead is low income.
Okay, thank you.
If I could just add, this actually was advertised as a public meeting. So if there's any member of the public that would like to speak, we need to recognize that.
Do that. Any member of the public like to speak on this matter? None appearing. Any questions from council? Okay, we have a motion. I'm sorry. I'll get used to this system. Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I was reading in the packet that there was a notification for STEM programming, but I didn't see anything after that. What is the update on that?
That is being advertised Friday. So we're on schedule to get responses hopefully in January, and I'm not sure it'll be awarded in January, but perhaps February is what we're looking at.
Oh, okay. I didn't see anything else after that advertisement, so I just kind of wanted to know where we were with that.
That's
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I'm sure you'll follow up on that.
Oh, for sure.
Soon after the first of the year. All right, so we'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to place this item on the council agenda?
Move it.
Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councilman Shelley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Tab number 3, motion to place car number 2818 on the council agenda, ITB number 201935, new control and protection panel for the Renaissance substation.
Thank you, Mayor. Staff recommends that the mayor and council authorize the city manager to award ITB number 201935 to Electrical Power Products in the amount of $95,129 for a new control and protection panel for the Renaissance Electrical Substation. This project is part of the city's CIP program, CIP number 0823. The purchase of this protection and control panel is a part of the Renaissance Electrical Substation expansion already in progress. The substation is located south of Southwest 328 Street along Southwest 147 Avenue and provides electricity to all City of Homestead HPS Energy customers east of the Turnpike extension, including Homestead Hospital and all residential subdivisions in that area within the Homestead electrical territory. This current substation upgrade is estimated to be completed in early 2020 and will ensure sufficient power and system reliability for future growth.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for council? No questions for council. Anything further? No other staff commentary? Have any public comment on this matter? Anyone like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll ask for a motion to place this item on the council agenda. Moved by Councilman Roth, seconded by Councilman Fletcher. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And tab 4. Motion to place car number 2826 on the council agenda, a non-redundant backup electrical control center server and upgrades.
Mayor, staff recommends that the mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase a new backup intercontrol center communication protocol server and software upgrades for Homestead Electric Utility from Open Systems International for a total of $189,472. This project is also part of the CIP program, CIP number 0823. This is necessary for Homestead Electrical to meet the federally mandated North American Electric Reliability Corporation cybersecurity compliance standards. A backup intercontrol center communication protocol server is required to be put in place. Bundled along with the server are discounted software upgrades, which will help support the increased number of data points needed for the expansion of the Renaissance substation. Open Systems International is the sole producer and provider of the software used by the Homestead Electric Utility for its supervisory control and data acquisition system.
Okay. Thank you. Anything further from staff? Any questions or comments from council? Any questions or comments from the public? None appearing. I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion to approve the placement of this item on the agenda. Moved by Councilman Ross, seconded by Councilwoman Bailey. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Tab 5 is a motion to place car number 2790 on the council agenda, RFP number 2019-15, Tennis Program Management Services.
Staff recommends that mayor and council authorize the city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement with Chow Tennis Academy for tennis program management services at J.D. Red Park. It's a 5-year revenue-generating agreement with two one-year extensions. Staff estimates that the agreement will generate about $24,000 over 5 years, with $3,000 anticipated in year 1. This was RFP 201915 for tennis program management systems at J.D. Red Park. There was one response on this one, and this is the responsive bidder. Cho Tennis Academy was the sole bidder, and they meet and exceed the city's specified qualifications.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Councilwoman Bailey? There we go.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have any other similar programs like this at any of our parks? As far as somebody offering services and like for Harris Field, for example, we have the same type of contract?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have very similar contracts with all the different sports leagues, where the sports leagues are on an annual basis, and they pay us per season. Tennis works a little different because of the way
That's
they
what I
use
was
the course.
curious about.
Yeah.
So is it depending on their enrollment? Would it be a month to month?
This what we're anticipating is going to be a monthly payment, very similarly based on the previous agreement that we had on JD Red Park.
Okay. All right, like, I've had quite a few questions from people looking for tennis programs, so I'm happy to see this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Bailey. Councilman Shelley.
Yeah, so my question was, didn't we do something similar like this before? I mean, we had a similar provider that came in, provided tennis, I think, going back a couple years ago. What happened to them? Did it not work out? Was it not profitable for them? Did it not work for us? Or is this the same company?
So the previous user of the courts, it was not profitable for them.
Okay.
They were paying us, the contract was $500 a month from the get-go, and I guess they were never able to really get on their feet and catch up. They were using their other sites to subsidize this site, and they ended up pulling out of the contract. So this proposer, they've proposed to start off very little with the monthly payments, and that it would increase through the years as the program would grow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I support the program. I support the concept, providing services, providing, an area for our residents to come in and learn how to play or play tennis. So I just was curious, I thought we'd done something like this before, and I was just curious where it went to from there. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Shelley. Councilwoman Bailey.
Sorry, one more question. It would be very helpful if maybe we could put together a little list of the different services that we offer throughout our parks and something that we could all share and have on hand to help these programs grow.
Absolutely. We have our Parks and Rec handbook available in all the city buildings, and we have it online as well. And we'll
Okay.
definitely have to update it at tennis.
Update this one, and if you can send it to me, thank you.
Thank you. Anything further from council? Are there any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion to place car number 2790 on the council agenda, RFP number 2019-15, Tennis Program Management Services. Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councilman Shelley. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Tab 6. It's a motion to place car number 2812 on the council agenda, Johnson Controls, Inc., Seminole Theater Service Agreements.
Mayor, staff recommends that mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into service agreements with Johnson Control for HVAC and control systems maintenance. This is a 3-year agreement for a total of $111,653. Year 1, $36,122. Year 2, $37,207. Year 3, $38,324. These agreements are for the maintenance of the HVAC and control systems at the Seminole Theater. Johnson Control is the manufacturer of the Metasis building automation system and sole authorized servicing agent and factory authorized source for the equipment and service of the York HVAC product line used at the Seminole Theater.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? I have a question. As I read through this, I understand this is just ongoing, regular service and maintenance contract, and that this entity is the only approved provider of these services, and
Yes, for this
I guess
system.
maybe we're hiring them to maintain any warranties and other guarantees we have on this equipment?
Yes.
Yes. My thought went to, we're paying over $35,000 a year to potentially have somebody come here and change the filters
Well,
in an air conditioner.
actually, and I'll defer to Jerry on this. Previously, when we didn't have the maintenance agreements, there was, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, Pedro, I think an $18,000 charge because we didn't have a maintenance agreement. So we would pay for service people to come, and it became very costly. So this is a protection, it's like insurance, and we're hoping that it is less costly for the city.
In addition to that, Mayor, we did reach out to the local AC companies, and they told us they could not work on this equipment since it's proprietary.
Well, I understand my next question, and maybe it's something to look at in the future and in other issues, do we not have employees, and could we not go pay for them to be trained and certified to work on this equipment at far less than almost $12,000 over the next 3 years?
I think that's a great point, and we can certainly look into it, for sure.
Okay, just, it's hard to believe that for most instances, it'll come up that a special and proprietary high level of skill would be needed to do that. And I understand about voiding warranties and being able to order.
Yeah, I'm not
certain
sure if
parts.
there's anything that it
Parts
has
and
to be
so
a certain
forth.
certification, but we can certainly look into it.
And again, I have to point out that this is in effect one of, I'm assuming, many subsidies, if you will, from the general fund to the Seminole Theater, above and beyond the annual bond payments, that this is not borne by the operating group, that this is a city expense for a city building.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the public? Any further from council? I'm sorry. Councilman Fletcher.
Notice we did look at this for a 3-year contract. Were there other available options to us for 1 year or 5 year?
We can do year to year. There is a termination clause, if I'm not mistaken.
If we continue to do the year-to-year process, would it be the same price amounts or would it change?
We have to reach out to Johnson Control and get an answer. But I think by doing the 3-year contract, they're locking in the pricing for us. They're controlling the percentage increase. We could definitely reach out to the vendor, as well as find out, like the manager said, if we could train city employees to take care of the equipment and email council once we have the response. So before the next meeting, you'll have an answer, if there is one.
I think that might be a way to defer this until we get that information. Just writing a check for $112,000 is a lot to do, so.
In some cases, maybe just to change filters 12 times a year seems to be. Well, let me come back to that and see if there's any public comment. I don't see any flashing lights from other council members. Okay, there's no comment from the public then. Councilman Fletcher, do you want to move to defer this item? I would defer this until we get the information from. Do we have a second for that?
I'm sorry, Mayor, if you do move it forward and I get you the information, I'll email it to you. If you're not happy with the answer,
Okay.
when the council meeting comes up, you could pull it off the consent agenda at that
Move
point.
forward pending an answer as to the ability to terminate or do year to year. Okay. All right, so now let's move for approval to move forward by Councilman Fletcher, seconded by the Vice Mayor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
And Mayor, just to clarify, what we want to have for the next meeting is whether or not we can do it to get out of it the first year? I just didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
You're on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just see what the annual cost would be
Okay.
for,
Okay,
1, 2,
understood.
3, 4, 5 years, and what the cost would be to train a city employee to do the same maintenance.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. All right, we are now at tab 7. Motion to place car number 2817 on the council agenda, the purchase of 2 Toro Sand Pro 5040 CIP number 2014. Manager?
Staff recommends Mayor and Council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase 2 Toro Sand Pro 5040 infield groomers from Hector Turf for a total of $51,078.70. The purchase is in accordance with National IPA Contract 2017025. This project is part of the city's capital improvement plan number 2014. And in order to properly maintain the clay fields at the city's baseball fields, Parks and Rec needs to purchase 2 Toro Sand Pro 5040 infield groomers. The current Parks Sand Pros are from 2010, are past their useful lifespan. Hector Turf is the sole source distributor of Toro commercial products, parts, and services for Southeast Florida.
Thank you. Any initial questions or comments from council? No question or comments from council. Any question or comments from the public? Okay. I'll say that I contacted a local, not heavy equipment dealer, but well-established, I guess, heavy lawnmower dealer and asked him first whether or not he dealt with Toro, and he explained to me that he has provided maintenance to our existing equipment over the past few years, and to quote him, he said, "It's shot." So my next question was, is Toro the only brand of this type of equipment? And he did confirm to me that this is very specialized, and to his knowledge, not Ford, not John Deere, not Massey
Yeah.
Ferguson, not Gravely. Toro is it for this very specialized equipment. So, all right, do we have a motion to place this item on the next council agenda? Moved by Councilwoman Bailey, seconded by Vice Mayor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Next item, tab 8, motion to place car number 2820 on the council agenda, a request for waiver of usage fees.
Thank you, Mayor. Chabad of Homestead in Cutler Bay is requesting that the mayor and council authorize the city manager to approve a waiver of usage fees for a total amount of $200 for the use of Losner Park on Monday, December 23rd, 2019 at 5:30 p.m. According to the city's code, Chapter 20, Section 20-11, fees and charges, the city council sets fees and has the right to waive parks and recreation fees by a majority of vote. Chabad of Homestead in Cutler Bay is hosting their annual public menorah lighting and Kindle the Light of the Menorah event. This free event is a community-wide candle lighting ceremony, free and open to all. Chabad of Homestead in Cutler Bay is a nonprofit organization, and Mayor, this is something that the city has done for the last several years.
I thought so. I know I've been invited to participate for several years. Okay, do we have any initial questions or comments from council? Do we have any questions or comments from the public? Close the public hearing and ask for a motion to place this item on the council agenda. Moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. Next item is, we're at item 9, tab 9?
Yes.
Okay. All right, next item is motion to place car number 2821 on the council agenda. Another request for waiver of usage fees.
Miami-Dade County Foster and Adoptive Parent Association is requesting that the mayor and council authorize the city manager to approve a waiver of usage fees for a total amount of $1,800 for the use of FICO Williams Community Center Historical Room and Kitchen every third Saturday of each month from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. from January to December of 2020. According to the city's code, Chapter 20, Section 20-11, fees and charges, the city council sets fees and has the right to waive parks and recreation fees by a majority vote. Miami-Dade County Foster and Adoptive Parent Association is a nonprofit tax-deductible organization sanctioned by the Department of Children and Family of the state of Florida and the caretakers of more than 2,900 youth in foster care. These are youth who have been placed in the state's custody and into homes due to suffering from being abandoned, neglected, and/or abused physically, mentally, and/or sexually. Miami-Dade County Foster and Adoptive Parent Association is requesting the use of FICO Williams every third Saturday of each month in order to host their in-service training meetings. These meetings provide information and training to the youth, parents, and families. They're open to the public, they're free, and this also, Mayor, is something that the city has been doing for the last several years.
Thank you. Any initial questions or comments from council? Vice Mayor.
Yes, thank you. Do we have representation here? Before you come up, I have a question for Pedro. Pedro, I know they've operated out of or hosted their trainings for some time. Has it been the historical room and the kitchen? Yes. Wait, this is for Pedro first.
No, sorry.
And we waive the use of the facility, or we contributed towards the cost?
This one has been waived.
This one has been waived?
Yes.
Tia, how are you? Good. How has your attendance been?
Attendance actually has increased over time. I mean, we have anywhere from, like it said, 75 up, anywhere from 50 to like 75 parents on that Saturday,
On each Saturday?
the third Saturday of each month. Yeah.
And these are parents who are in the process of, I'm sorry?
No, they're actually
They're-
fostering. And
Okay,
yeah,
they're
have
actually
already-
fostering.
Already been trained and, have kids. Kids are placed in homes.
Okay. Now, I know Saturdays are your high peak days at the FACO Williams Community Center. So has this impacted or hampered your ability to use the facility, those two rooms?
It has not impacted it. They use it from 10 to 1. Typically, the high use is at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your service and what you do.
Other questions for us?
No. You want more?
But before you leave, though, give us your names for the record.
I'm Cynthia Hughes. I'm a parliamentarian for the organization, and this is Travis Davis. He's our new vice president. Oh, sorry, president, our vice president.
Thank you. Now, just to clarify, I want to make sure that this is a renewal. This has been an ongoing activity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, a question I had, I know that at our last council meeting, there was a new request, and I know Councilwoman Bailey had some concerns as to, overbooking and overextending ourselves at the center, and I think Councilwoman Bailey has a question or comment.
Well, I definitely know that we are in desperate need for wonderful fostering families. I just had one question, and that is why the historical room and the kitchen room? Is it capacity? Is it a means to be able to meet privately?
We have the kids as well. The parents bring the kids to the meetings, and so the kids
Okay.
participate in different arts and crafts projects, so.
Or you could split the groups up? Okay, I was just wondering if maybe one of the larger rooms would be helpful to have everybody together, but, okay, well, good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any question or comment from the public? I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion to approve the placement of this item on the agenda. Moved by Councilwoman Bailey,
Second.
seconded by Vice Mayor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item 10, tab 10, motion to place car number 2768 on the council agenda, an amendment of the City of Homestead Title VI program.
Staff recommends that mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to update the City of Homestead Title VI program for the Downtown Homestead Multimodal Transit Center and associated federally funded projects in accordance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. At the November 16, 2016 council meeting, council established a Title VI program in accordance with the FTA guidelines for the development of the Downtown Homestead Multimodal Transit Center. The FDA requires that the plan be updated every 3 years, and it's time for that update.
Thank you. Is there a presentation on this?
No, sir.
No, okay.
If there's any questions, though, we can answer them.
Do we have any questions or comments from council? Yes, we do. Councilwoman Bailey.
I had one quick question. I saw all the different procedures of how people could give us feedback. I think they're called the complaint procedures, and I was just curious if we received any and what some of those main complaints were. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where are we here? There we go. Should be on.
No, we have not received in the past 3 years any complaints. This is a federal guideline that we just have to meet in order to be able to accept federal funding from the FDA, and the fact that we purchased trolleys using FDA funds as a sub-grantee through the county, we have to go through this every 3 years.
Thank you.
And is my understanding correct that we also have to do this because of this new funding for the multimodal location? Because I'm seeing here, oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That is correct. Any federal funding that we accept for any project in the city would have to adhere by this Title VI ordinance. So basically, yes.
Thank you, Julio. Any questions or comments from the public? None appearing, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion to place this item on the council agenda. Moved by Councilwoman Bailey. Second by Councilman Fletcher. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right, tab 11. This is to place car number 2801 on the council agenda, the chlorine risk management and process safety management plan updates.
Staff recommends that mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Hazen and Sawyer pursuant to RFQ 201307, continuing professional architectural and engineering services for updates to the city's chlorine risk management and process safety management plan for a total not to exceed $63,000. The Code of Federal Regulations requires that the city develop and implement a risk management program that includes an analysis of off-site consequences of accidental chemical releases to their air, a 5-year accident history, a prevention program, and an emergency response program. A risk management program is required due to the chlorine disinfection system used at the city's water treatment facilities at Whitcup, Harris Field, and Tennessee pump stations.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? No? Any question or comment from the public? Oh, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion to place item 2801 on the council agenda for the chlorine risk management process safety management plan updates. Moved by Councilwoman Bailey. Second by the Vice Mayor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. And tab 12, motion to place car number 2802 on the council agenda, the risk and resilience assessment report.
Staff recommends that mayor and council approve the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Hazen and Sawyer pursuant to RFQ 201307, continuing professional architectural and engineering services for a risk and resilience assessment report of the city's drinking water systems for a total not to exceed $136,700. Pursuant to Section 2013 of the America's Water Infrastructure Act, signed into law on October 23, 2018, the city is required to submit a certification that the city has conducted a risk and resilience assessment of its drinking water systems based on a current population of over 70,000 to the EPA administrator prior to December 31, 2020.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? I have a question. So when this assessment is done, if there are risk or security holes, if you will, weak spots identified, does that report just go on a shelf, or do the feds come here and tell us we've got to spend X $100,000 to remediate these issues? Or are we confident that we're in good shape?
I think we're confident, but I'll allow Julio to answer the rest of the question.
Okay. Mr. Brea.
We haven't done the report yet, but yeah, we're pretty confident that we're okay with this. It's a mandate that we have to follow through on, and if anything does show up, there's usually some recommendations that show up, but are usually more like procedural type of things that we just take care of in-house and be able to handle it that way. But I don't see anything major or anything even substantial that should come up.
Okay, hey, because, you know, in reading through the background material, clearly, I see this is a new regulatory layer. It was just enacted in October of last year. So to do these assessments, we're going to spend about $137,000 in more regulatory money. But it appears to me that's based in, I guess, anti-terrorism compliance sort of issues, sabotage. Okay. Right. Okay. Any further questions or comments from council? Questions or comments from the public? None appearing, we'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion to place this item 2802 on the next council agenda. Moved by Councilman Fletcher. Seconded by Councilman Shelley. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No, thank you. Okay. And that's it. Anything further, Ms. Manager? No, I'll turn on your microphone. All right.
No, sir.
Any business, Vice Mayor?
Actually, I do have a question.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure when this meeting will occur, this is to the assistant city managers and perhaps Julio. The school district is engaging several community stakeholders in conversations regarding school start times. And apparently there will be meetings held with city managers and public work directors to have a conversation about traffic patterns and studies in the various municipalities. And I wanted to ensure that Homestead has a seat at the table to contribute to the conversation. Are you aware of that?
I've heard of the issue that's coming up now regarding the modification of the start times and end times of school. I haven't heard of a time or a date for the meetings, but I'll reach out to them to find out and make sure that we're there.
Definitely, definitely. I heard it may be sometime next week or the week after. So if you can follow up with that, I want to
Follow
make
up.
sure that the city of Homestead is represented from the city manager's office as well as from your office.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mr. Shelley? Nothing? Ms. Bailey? Mr. Fletcher? Mr. Roth? Okay. I'd be remiss if I did not recognize former Homestead City Councilman Elvis Maldonado sitting in the audience. I know that, after 10 years, the withdrawal symptoms are difficult, and you found yourself sitting at home wondering, isn't there something I'm supposed to be doing tonight? So, thank you for the spitballs from the back row. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Anything further, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Moved and seconded. All in favor? Motion, meeting adjourned.